Hello, hello. How are
Hi,
you?
hi, Michael. I'm fine. How are you?
Not too bad. I just wish my rabbit would not eat all the extension cords and wires, but I think I'm going to have to train the rabbit there.
Uh,
So, so today's topic is about traveling cheaply. We had this topic, what was it, maybe last week or so, but unfortunately I had a little bit of problems there with the connection. So I think this is a good topic for people to join because it is traveling season. So, uh, cheaply traveling. Is there anything you want to say before we begin? Anything, any advice, any hints that you have for traveling cheaply? Do you ever follow anything yourself, Yvonne?
uh, Travel cheaply. I don't remember that I have ever traveled cheaply. What do you mean by that?
Well, by traveling on like not much money, not using much money. So you're being
Mhm.
thrifty. You know what thrifty means? I'll spell it.
No.
Hold on a second. I pressed back by mistake here. Thrifty. So I'll copy this word. Thrifty means uh, to be cheap. If you're cheap, you're thrifty. You're getting the most bang for your buck. Have you ever heard of this expression before? Getting the most bang for your buck.
No, no.
So
I haven't.
it's hard to explain. What it means is you get what your money's worth.
Uh-huh.
You understand that better? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
For what you pay, you get the best deal.
Mm-hmm.
We can say you get the most bang. The bang is the most bang. I don't know. It's used as an idiom here. The most bang for your buck. A buck is like a dollar. You're getting the most effort, the best thing you can with your money as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, for a person like me, for traveling thrifty, if you're a person from North America or from a rich country, they think, because everyone thinks if you're from these countries, you're rich, you will get hosed. Here's an idiom for you.
Uh-huh.
Let me write it down for you. You will get hosed. We use this expression. You will get hosed. Basically, what that means, like a garden hose, a hose that you use to water your flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like that, but someone hosing you with water. So instead of them hosing you with water, they're hosing you with getting your money. All right.
Uh-huh.
So taxis, stuff like that, can be very expensive, especially if you're a foreigner. Especially if you're from Canada, they'll get you as well. So think, Ivan, what are some things you can do to save money while traveling? Can you think of some stuff? What to do?
Could you repeat the question?
What are some things you can do to travel cheaply? What are some things a person can come up with, a person can do to travel cheaply on their journey?
What they can do? They can hitchhike. Is it the right way to say?
They're going by foot. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They could.
Not by foot, but catch in a car or stop in a car and go.
Is
Uh,
that is that is that dangerous though? You think?
I think it's dangerous, right? It's dangerous, but if you want to try, you can go by train, for example, not by uh, some expensive, not by some expensive,
Transportation.
yeah, transportation, right, right.
Artem, did I get your name right? Artem.
Artyom?
Hello.
Hello, hello. Hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. Uh,
Nice to meet you too.
Artem, if I pronounced your name correctly. Where are you from?
I'm from Kiev.
Oh, you're from Kiev. I'm from Kiev too. Okay, nice to meet you there.
Yeah.
So, so,
Nice to meet you.
sorry.
Nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you. Дуже приємно. So today's
Good.
topic. I try. Today's topic is about traveling cheaply.
Yeah.
You want to save money. You want to try to travel very very cheaply. Do you know any ways to travel cheaply if you're going to a different country? Do you have any advice for people? What would you say?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I know the cheapest the cheapest airlines is the Wizz Air, but it's maybe not so true now because they made a step from low cost to maybe middle class, and the cheapest way I think that is the cars like stop cars and hitchhiking. Yeah.
Me and Yvonne were talking about hitchhiking. I don't think it's safe. What do you think?
Once again, it's poor connection.
Me and Yvonne were talking about hitchhiking, that it's not safe to do because you don't know whose car you're going to be going into. It could be a killer. How do you know what car you're going to?
No, I think that it's Hollywood movies about hitchhiking is dangerous. Maybe it's not so comfortable, but no, I don't think that it's so dangerous because maybe if you are killer, so if you are hitchhiker and you are killer, it's dangerous. But in the car, I don't know. You always see where you are sitting. You want to sit and to go. You always can do no. I won't wait for someone and say no. Yeah. And no, don't think so.
But I've never, Michael, how to say, I've never hitchhiked, right?
I've never hitchhiked before.
Yeah, I've never hitchhiked, and I think that you have to travel with not a lot of things to hitchhike. Could you write this in a group chat? Because I don't know how to write this hitchhike, or how do you say it?
Hitchhike, if I speak it correctly. Well, I gotta look this up. It's not an everyday word, you know. Look, if it's one word, two words, I forget. Actually, hold on a second.
Yeah.
My Google's on the so hiked. Hitchhiked, is it one word? It is hitchhiked. Yeah, it's one word actually. It's one word. So I'm gonna paste it in the chat here. Hitchhiked.
Okay.
Hitch is like something you put on the back of your truck, you know, to carry something. Hike is to walk with your feet. That's where the word comes from.
Okay, understand this. So I think that's it's not comfortable, but for example, if you go somewhere and it's a long road and you don't have car, you don't have a car like goes the way you have to go. Ой, Артем, там какие-то шумы на заднем фоне немного.
Да, это два шума там ходят у меня на заднем фоне.
Ага, окей.
Sorry, guys.
So, yeah.
So I'm thinking if you hitchhike in a car, it's best to have the doors open, you know, because you never know. I want the door open unless I have to, you know, run out of the door or something, go out, you know, some sort of Hollywood effect.
You mean you have to go to by car with open door?
Oh, not open door, but the doors unlocked. Not like in the Marshutka bus, not like that kind of stuff. But the lock is open. That's what I mean, you know?
Yeah.
They can press a button, lock the doors. Not on the Soviet car, but, you know, on modern cars, they can lock everything. Or go on top of the car.
On top? Okay.
Going back to Wizz Air. Wizz Air was cheap. I went to Poland for like maybe $50. Well, you're saying Wizz Air is more expensive to travel now for Ukrainian people? Or just in general?
It was cheap, but it became more expensive because, I don't know, because maybe the inner politics, but maybe 2 years ago they were more cheaper than now, and now they are almost the same level as maybe Lufthansa and other companies of middle class level.
Well, you know, they need to make a profit. I remember going on there, and everyone get their own seat, every man for himself. You know, because, or you don't want to end up like, well, what's the Ukrainian airline again? What's the one that went bankrupt? Aeroswift, yeah, no more. Aeroswift, I never heard about it again. Just went gone. Yeah, that could be a problem as well.
Forget it.
Okay, but what about the hryvnia? Who's anybody traveling anywhere special this year? I want to go to Greece, but is anyone else traveling? No, nobody.
No, not this year.
Not this year.
Yeah,
but
I have a lot of work. Yeah.
Okay, so you have a lot of work, but all right. I'm thinking for Ukrainian people, because of the hryvnia level right now, right? I mean, if you look at it, it's like one American dollar is like 11 hryvnia now, or something like that. I'm thinking it's going to be more expensive anywhere you go in Europe. What do you think?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's more expensive than, for example, last year.
What about Turkey? Ukrainians love Turkey. And I'm not talking about Turkey and Kurica chicken. I'm talking about Turkey, the country. They like Turkey because it's cheap. Is it still cheap to go there?
Maybe it's a good time to choose Turkey and visit Istanbul, but Ukrainians, I don't know, I don't like such a kurort places like with all-inclusive hotels and others. But I think that traveling to Istanbul, it's like traveling to Europe, because in Istanbul it's also hotels with high-level price, and it's an expensive city too, I see.
Yeah, well, when they say 5-star hotel, I don't expect cockroaches to be there.
Sorry?
I says when I see a 5-star hotel, I don't expect cockroaches to be there. You know what cockroaches are, Ivan? Maybe.
No.
Nobody knows what cockroaches. Those bugs.
Cockroach — это как этот вот таракан.
I hate those things.
Nobody like it.
Oh no. Okay. My cat likes to chase them, of course. So some things okay is to use like tickets.ua. Is it all Ukrainians using tickets.ua? Is that very popular for them when they're looking for traveling fares? Tickets.ua?
No.
No, not popular. Well, what do you do? I mean, if you're traveling and you want to, what do you do? Do you get like a hotel and excursion together, or do you just book the plane separately? What do you think?
No, it's just separately, and you do your program by your own thinking and wishing.
Okay, right. And it says here for the 50 thrifty tips, it says avoid touristy restaurants. So don't ever say, I speak English. What's going to happen to you if you're going in like Germany and you say, I speak English? What's going to happen to you?
Sorry, I don't understand the question. I speak English and?
Well, what do you think will happen to you if you say, like, I speak English, you know, in a tourist restaurant, you know, where there's a lot of tourists? What do you think? What do you think?
In Germany? In Germany?
In Germany and any European country.
Oh, this depends on what country you are in, because in France you will hear the answer in French, but in Germany it's not so many people know English, but but it's more likely to hear the answer in English than in German.
I think that if you go to a tourist restaurant, it's going to be more expensive.
Yes. Yeah, of course, because the tourist places are in the most visible places, and they are more expensive. And not tourists, they are not so visible like tourist places.
Yeah, and I want an English menu. You know how hard it is getting an English menu in Ukraine? It's almost like you're asking them to make it for you. Honestly, Yvonne, you ask for an English menu, she throws it at you like this.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Another one, fly open jaws. So that's into one city and out the other. Save time and money by avoiding a needless, costly return to your starting point. When considering the beginning and end points of a long trip, try to start in mild countries such as England and work into places with greater culture shock. We all know what culture shock is, right?
What is it? Culture shock?
Yeah, anyone know? No, nobody? No?
Culture shock?
No? Yeah, what's culture shock? Anyone know?
Культурный шок?
I guess. It sounds right to me. Nobody knows? It's when you go into another country and it's different than you. It's like you going into China and like, look, they're eating ants. They're eating ants. They eat bugs. We don't eat bugs. So it's a culture shock for you. So
Yeah.
it's different. That's a culture shock. Is that understandable?
Hi.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
All right, such as Turkey. So this way you minimize stress and save countries offering the cheapest shopping and greatest health risk for the end of your trip. All right, I don't think England would be cheap. What's the cheapest country to go to anyways right now for a Ukrainian person?
Belarus, no?
No.
I don't know. I think that the cheaper maybe it's better to go to Turkey right now.
Turkey.
Yeah, Turkey. Maybe to Western Ukraine.
Maybe Greece?
Greece?
Oh, no. Greece too, and Georgia. Georgia, yeah.
Oh, Georgia. Oh, everyone likes it. Yeah, Georgia. A lot of Americans go to Georgia to teach English, and they like it. So,
yeah, it's a great food and great atmosphere and great people.
yeah. I tried Georgian wine, but it was like on like their meat, but a little bit different. But anyways, what about traveling off season? I mean, you know, like, okay, for instance, when I was in Crimea in Yalta over a year ago, I went in October. Nobody on the beach. Nobody. It was dead, like it is now. All right.
Yeah.
So it's cheap. What do you think about traveling off season? Do you agree with this, Yvonne? Artem, what do you think?
It depends. If you want to meet a lot of new people, you have to travel in season. But if you want to just relax and you don't want to see anybody else around you, you can go. How to say it? How did you say it? Out of the season. Michael, how did you say this when it's not season?
Off season.
Yeah. Then if you don't want to see anybody else and you want just to relax by yourself, then you go off the season.
But even, okay, look, picture you're in Yalta, right? And do you really want to be with thousands of people on the beach? Because I saw one woman the size of a whale, and she was taking the most of the sun. And to me, I like to be alone, you know? What do you think? No, you're not that type of person?
I don't know.
Artem, what do you think? Traveling with a lot of people, or are you more independent?
No, independent is more cool than traveling with groups because groups are always boring.
Yeah, you can't do what you want to do.
Yeah, it can be annoying also.
as well.
But it's always very hard to catch these people in the groups you love to talk, you like to travel with, and there are always people you hate from the first sight, and it's groups, it's boring and non-comfortable.
True, true. And another one, eat with the season. So it says, Germans go crazy for the white asparagus. Oh, do we know what asparagus is?
Asparagus, it's sparza. Yeah?
Sexy stuff.
Sparża, да?
Asparagus, yeah.
So Germans go crazy for the white asparagus. Italians lap up the porcini, mushrooms. And Spaniards gobble the snails. So what do you think? I mean, I'm thinking eating the right things on the right season will save you money too. Because look, in Ukraine, you buy some fruits and vegetables off season, and it's expensive.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's like to buy now young potatoes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, usually, someone has a village, right?
Do you know about young potatoes?
Sorry?
Do you know about young potatoes?
A young potato. It's a new potato, no?
Yeah, yeah.
What
Newly
about-
born.
Sorry?
Newly born potatoes.
Newly born. Straight from the village.
But how is it right to say, like, the potato that was just taken out of the ground? Michael, do you have such, like, special word in English for this?
Not really, because Ukrainians like their take potato, katoshka time. We don't have this in Canada, but I'm thinking, like, we don't have a thing for taking potatoes out of the ground. Most of us don't even have a garden in Canada. So that's the difference. Every Ukrainian I know has a village, right? So that's the difference there. So there's no explanation I can give you there. It does not for me. I don't know. Taking the potato out of the ground. I have no explanation. Using a guidebook. Guidebooks. What do you think about guidebooks? Do you think they're really good, or do you think they're going to cost you a lot of money in the end run?
What is it? Guy what?
A guidebook.
Guidebook. It's there are many services that can help you to make an orientation in some cities, and it's cool because some users can rate these places, and you can read some comments, and so it's great. But guidebook is cool to read before to the place, but before the visit, yeah. The full books, like when they are, I don't know. Okay, guidebooks before visiting, and services while visiting.
I know, but I think that they can still have expensive things in there. They're made for tourists. So if they're made for tourists, they're made for a big price. That's my opinion that I see. Yvonne, what do you think of guidebooks? You ever use them?
I like the guidebooks only if they have a map, not to lose somewhere in the country or in the city.
Not to get lost, eh?
Yeah, not to get lost. Because once when I was the first time in Germany, in Frankfurt, I was in a hotel, and the bus took me somewhere. I don't remember exactly, but somewhere in Frankfurt it took me. So, and I regretted that I didn't take this book with me, guidebook, because there was a map. But at least I had my iPhone, and I found the map right away and find my way home.
Oh, you're lucky. I had in Poland, right? I had to go there, right, to Krakow. I had no iPhone. I only have a basic phone on me, right? I took this tram that went directly to my place. I didn't even know it was at my hostel or apartment. And I was 30 minutes looking to see where I was, and I was right beside the place where I was supposed to be. So sometimes it helps if you have your little GPS on you, but you know, or a compass. Nobody has a compass on them anymore. Yeah. What about?
Sorry. Do you know the way to make this GPS in foreign country more cheaper? Maybe local operators and so on.
I had Life, and I was too cheap to get the Polish whatever they use there, Orange maybe, because I was only there for a couple of days. So it's expensive. It's very expensive for Life for mobile service. Very expensive, I found out.
Okay.
ATMs. Sorry?
So it's now that the theme of our lesson, because it's expensive, but the theme of our lesson is cheap trips.
Cheap, yeah. Well,
yeah.
We want expensive. We want cheap. Traveler's check. I mean, traveler's check is something we use in America a lot. Do you know what traveler's checks are?
Yeah, we know, but we use it only for to guarantee to the visa to visa documents that we have money, and we don't use travel checks.
Well, it says here, if you're traveling, use ATM. Do not use traveler's check, because it's more expensive to use traveler's check than it is an ATM. I agree with that as well. There's more fees.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's common for Ukrainians to use that. And some companies, some countries, or some companies don't even accept traveler's checks as well. And we went back to international phone cards. So sometimes it helps to use an international phone card as well, because they're cheap. So I don't know. It's something worth looking into, because, like I said, with Life, if you go on their plan, it was too expensive, and I think a phone card would have been more beneficial as well. Cars are worthless and costly headaches in big cities. Who would think of using a car when they're traveling? Anyone?
International card or?
International.
Oh no, not me.
Expensive, very expensive as well. And do your shopping mostly in cheaper countries. So who here buys things in different countries to save money? I heard things in Germany are cheaper than things are in Ukraine. Can someone tell me if this is true or not?
No, it's not. It depends actually on things. Some things are cheaper, some things are more expensive. You know, when you, for example, take a look at the prices of the cars, they are very cheap. But if you took if you take a look at the clothes, the price of the clothes in Germany, it's very expensive. For example, for example, the flowers in Germany are very expensive. I know this, sure.
Flowers are expensive in Kiev too, I find.
No, they are not as expensive as in Germany. In Germany, they are extremely expensive.
How much does it cost for you?
How much does it cost?
Yes.
I don't remember exact price, but it seems to me that one rose was like up to 5 or 7 euros, something like this.
Oh.
It was very expensive, yeah.
Ужас.
Yeah. And at the same time, I can buy here in Kiev a good rose for 17 grivnas. It's like 1 meter high and very, very like good rose.
Well,
Like Bubka.
What?
Like Bubka use while jumping.
Yeah.
Hey, well, when Babushka sees me, the price goes 10 times high, so I'm still getting it, the German price. It doesn't matter. Oh, believe me, when they see me come in, I get it good. Well, what about traveling, booking in advance? I think booking your plane ticket 2 months in advance is the best. I don't think you're gonna save any more than 2 months. What do you guys think?
It saves a lot of money. to book in advance, especially not, for example, railway tickets, but the tickets for plane. Yeah, it saves a lot of money.
What about traveling by rail? Has anyone done that to save money? How much of a cost savings have they noticed versus plane by rail? Like if you want to go into Europia, right? By train, is it that? Can you save that much money? Do you think versus a plane?
I don't know.
It would take a while though.
I never did it.
Sorry?
I've never did it.
I've never done it.
Done it. Mm-hmm.
Some people like that because they like the view, you know. So, what about here's a service. I don't know what to call it, but some Ukrainian person was telling me about it. What they do is they instead of getting like a hotel or a hostel, they live with someone they found on the internet website, and they live for free. I don't know what you call this service, but in exchange, if they want to come to your country, they can come for free as well. I think this is dangerous. I know you can read reviews about the person, but I don't know. I'm thinking about Dexter something in the back of my mind. I don't know. I've been watching too much television. What do you think, Artem? Have you heard this service before?
You mean coach service or something like that, yeah?
You stay at the person's place for free.
Yeah, I understand. No, I never use it, but I heard some people just for free, even when it was strangers, but I have common friends with them. Yeah.
If it's strangers, I don't trust. I don't know them. You get a good vibe or a bad vibe, I don't trust. Ivan, what do you think with strangers?
I think that strangers are strangers, and but if they are the friends of your friends, then and you know those friends well, then why not?
Oh, that's different. That's family. Family.
Yeah. But that services has some recommendation, and you know, and you may see the ratings and something like that, and you will be not the first person you host them, and so on, and so maybe they not Dexters.
I'm just scared of going. If I'm going to a stranger's home, I don't know. I'm like, where's my room? Where's everything that belongs to me? That's the first thing I'm going to ask.
So you may take it with you.
I'll go private. Thank you. Air miles. Does Ukraine even have air miles?
Sorry?
Air miles. Does anyone know what air miles are? Ivan, Miguel, anyone?
It's like a bonus.
Ah, bonus card, yes.
Okay. No, I haven't.
No, I don't have to. But I think that those companies, they have it, and Ukrainian International Airlines, they have something like this.
Well, think about it. If you have an air miles card, you build up miles on that card. So if you build up enough, because I think like if I go to like Rexall in Canada, it's a like Opteka, you know, like a pharmacy, right? And they ask, do you have an air miles card, right? You give them your air miles card, and they swipe your card, and you get points on there. But nothing is free in life. Nothing is free. So what do they get? When you swipe that card, they know exactly what you purchased. Exactly. So they're looking for what people are buying. They use that marketing reference. What do you think of that, Ivan? What do you think? Is that sneaky, devious marketing tactics for something like air miles to use to know what people are buying. What do you think about that? In return, to give them air miles to travel to another.
Yeah, that's marketing. It's all about this. It's all about cheating.
So, would you be interested in an air miles card or forget it?
Yeah. Why not? Why not? If it's for free, why not? You know. I know friends of mine. When they travel a lot, they have these bonus cards, and then they, for example, when they fly somewhere, for example, for holidays, they are flying for free because they have so many these miles on their card.
My family, they had a bunch of air miles, but they were collecting them. So what air miles did was they said if you don't use it by this date, you will lose all your points. So you have to use it by this date. Oh, I hate that. That was sneaky. That's
bad.
That's why everyone canceled.
All bonuses are shit.
Sorry?
All bonuses are cheap. It's like a chain.
Yeah.
And it's always more expensive to use it than to not use it.
Sorry, I had to let someone in there. Yeah, so everything's like a scam these days as well. Another one: pay with cash, not credit cards. Credit cards, you get a good exchange rate. Many places offering Europe's best deals, from craft shops to bed and breakfast, accept only cash. So I don't know. I thought everyone accepts Visa these days. I thought even. What?
No.
No, not it. Who doesn't accept Visa? Who doesn't accept Visa?
We have a very big amount of babushkas on our markets. Do you know babushka?
Babushka, of course I know babushka. Of course.
They do not accept Visa, but they have young potatoes.
You have young potatoes. But as well, I'm thinking credit cards, maybe you would pay higher in interest too. So I think using cash is better than using credit cards. What do you guys think when you're traveling to another country? Anyone?
I think that not to take the cash with you, it's better to have the credit card. But it has to be international or some kind of card that will not charge you a lot of interest.
No, that's what I mean. Get the money from an ATM machine. In Ukraine, if I take money from an ATM machine, they charge me 40 hryvnia to take money. But if you go to a bank machine that is affiliated with your bank, you get it for free.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So watch out for that. Because if you go to another country, you will, I don't know how it works in Europe, but you will be paying a fee there. Has anyone had that problem before where they use an ATM machine with their kartichka, and they noticed that they were charged a fee because they weren't from their country? Nobody?
No.
Nobody ever? Miguel? No?
What is the question?
Like using your kartichka, right? Like for instance, using your private card, right, in a different country. A lot of people don't notice that they have an extra fee. What do you think? Have you ever traveled to a country and noticed a fee when you?
I don't take a cash. I only buy with the card on the terminal in the shop or.
So you're using like direct credit card then?
Yes. Only the terminal.
On a credit card, if I use a credit card in a terminal, I'm not charged anything.
Yes.
But if, for instance, if I use it like with my Scotia card, if I use Ukrasi Bank, they don't charge me anything. So that's Paris Bank.
Mm-hmm.
Communicate online rather than by mail postcards. Well, that's a given. You know, who I don't think anyone would be sending a postcard as well. What else is here? I'm trying to look through a good one. Avoid hotel breakfast. But nobody here is going to be using...
Why? I like it.
No good value, it says. No good value at all. Okay, it says here, if breakfast is optional, increase the character and lower the price by joining the local crowd at the local corner cafe for your coffee and croissant. That's what it says there. And it says to use a lot of public transit. You know, don't use taxis. Have you ever used a taxi and you were charged more money than the local people? Has that ever happened to anyone?
No.
Yeah. So for instance,
yeah, you know, you never know how much do they charge to like local people. But I know that once in China we were charged a little bit more than everybody else in Shanghai.
But do you think they look at, oh, you're from a rich country, or just because you're a foreigner? What do you think it is?
What?
Do you think they look at the country you're from, or just because you're a foreigner there? What do you think it is that they try to charge?
I think that they think that if you are in some country, for example, in Shanghai, it's like not cheap city, not very cheap, and you order taxi and you are speaking Russian, that means that you have money for them.
Okay, I didn't know about this. So you have to speak English then. Then the price goes way up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I find if I speak English and I'm downtown Ukraine in Kiev and I'm speaking English, that taxi driver I just made is
price. Yeah.
triple price, not double price.
Triple bubble.
400 hryvnia.
Yeah.
And you know, when you are coming back from airport and the taxi drivers that are near airport and they always looking for some foreigner to charge him a lot, right? And when you ask him how much does it cost to go somewhere to Krishchatik, and if you say Krishchatik, that means that you know the only one street in Kiev, right? And he understands that you are not from Ukraine, and he will charge you a lot. But if you are saying, okay, let's go to Troyeshino, and then he knows that you are like a local guy, and you will not be he will not charge you a lot.
Oh, no, I just say, send me to Krasnopolska, then I'll take everything and go on the Marshutka bus from there. But yeah, when they're looking, you made their day. They're like 400 hryvnia. I'm going home after this one, this sucker. Yeah, for sure. So Ivan, you should try speaking. If you're coming back from Borisoville one day, you should try speaking English and see what the price difference is. And then say, no, I'm from Ukraine, and speak in Ukrainian and see what happens then. Because it's kind of interesting.
Okay, then we will have discount for you, 50% discount.
50% discount. Another one, don't over tip. I don't know, Ukrainians, do you guys like to tip a lot? I'm from Canada. I have to tip. It's in my blood. Ivan, Artem.
You have to what? You have to what? You have to
tip.
Tip. Tip. Oh, okay.
They say do not tip a lot. Do you guys like to tip a lot, or are you generous in other countries, or what? Is it in your blood?
I don't believe in tips.
Oh, really? So when you're going to a restaurant,
I'm joking. This is the phrase from a movie.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't believe in tips.
Artem?
No, I always when we have a great service, I always pay like a 10% tips, and that's all.
Don't tip too much. That's what it says. Don't tip. It says only American tip 15 to 20% in Europe. We even tip 15 to 20%. That's what it says.
Wow.
I don't know, because they're crazy.
And in Canada?
More, because they're crazy. We even tip when it's already included. So think about this. It's included and you tip on top of that. The person might think these people are stupid. To save money in restaurants, couples can order a side salad and split an entree. That's cheap. To save more, request tap water. Well, tap water, I gotta watch that one instead of mineral water. I wouldn't do that in Ukraine though. Drink the house wine and skip desserts. And another one, museum passes can save time and money. Has anyone heard of a museum pass?
No.
Artem, have you heard of a museum pass?
No.
No.
Okay. All right. The Paris Museum Pass, for example, pays for itself in 3 visits and can save you up to hours by letting you skip the long lines and scoot, like scoot means like that, right into each site. Also, with some passes, you'll pop painlessly into sites that might otherwise not be worth the expense. So I guess, I don't know if this is for more museums, skip long lines and scoot right into each site. I still don't know what the heck this is. I never heard of a museum pass. So this doesn't make sense to anyone? A museum pass, no?
Yeah, I heard about it, but never used.
Never, yeah, I never use this one as well. Buy your maps in Europe at half the price you'd pay in America, and you'll find a wider selection as well. And wearing a money belt. Anyone know what a money belt is?
Yeah.
What do you think? Wearing a money belt? I don't know how this can save us money. What does it say here? You'll save money by not losing it. That's what it says. What do you guys think? Thieves target Americans not because they're mean, but because they're smart. They know we're the ones with the good stuff in our purses, like sumka, and wallets. Assume beggars and pickpockets. Be wary of promotions. Alright, so what do you think about wearing a money belt? I think it looks stupid.
Oh, maybe the persons that have a big amount of money have to wear money belt. But when you are Ukrainian, you have only maybe wallet.
I tell anyone, never put your wallet in your back pocket. It'll be gone. In the metro place, too close to each other.
Yeah, it's a dangerous place to hold your money.
You can have a field day there. Any other tips? Miguel, what are any other tips that you would have for people to travel cheaply this summer? Anything you can
travel
think of?
cheaply.
I don't know. Hard to say for me.
Miguel, are you going anywhere this year?
I don't think about this. I have not a lot of time this year.
It's May. It's summer season. It's Baywatch. It's time to go to the beach.
No.
No? It's time to go sightsee. Artem, are you going anywhere special this year?
I just want, but I don't know yet. I want to go to Lithuania. I don't know, Lithuanium. Do you know Litva?
Is this a country?
Yeah, but I don't remember how to say it in English. Litva in Ukrainian and Lithuania. Anybody know?
What are you talking about?
Anybody know?
No.
Lithuanium. No. Okay. That's all. Or maybe I don't know. Maybe somewhere in Georgia, but I don't know yet.
I wonder how much it would cost to go by airplane to Georgia. I never looked that up. Thinking it would be expensive though.
In Georgia?
To Georgia, from Kiev.
No, well, we have some cheap flights now, but they became more expensive with time, and you should reserve it in advance.
Everything reserve it in advance off of peak seasons. That's just
Yeah.
Oh, Lithuania. That's where you want to go.
Lithuania, yeah. Sorry.
In the Baltic area, yes, of course. Yeah. They okay, I understand now. And that's part of the European Union, so maybe it would be more expensive too. Because you know,
They say that Lithuania is not so expensive country, and they have very cheap but very tasty food.
Well, why is Greece more expensive than Turkey?
Greece is not more expensive than Turkey now.
Someone told me that. Greece is more expensive. Greece is poor now. They're suffering. And Turkey's always cheap, but someone said that Greece is more expensive than Turkey. No?
No, I think that it was several years ago.
Maybe several years ago. I was just thinking because it's a European country as well. What's the most expensive cities? France is expensive. Have you ever looked at a Big Mac at in Paris?
Oh.
It's expensive. Yeah. I don't know who would eat a Big Mac in Paris when they want to eat nice food. They don't eat a Big Mac. But Paris.
Why? Is it so expensive?
Yeah, I don't know what they have on a Big Mac in Paris. Maybe a frog. I don't know, but it's expensive. It's very expensive as well. So from what I heard.
Very interesting.
So I'm thinking Paris is probably one of the most expensive cities in Europe. What about in
Moscow? More expensive than Moscow?
I don't know about that. I'd have to do research. What about Germany? What's the most expensive city in Germany? Berlin?
I think that the Berlin is most expensive, but you know, it depends. You can find in Germany you can find everything. You can find cheap stuff and you can find expensive stuff. No.
Okay, so cheap and expensive.
Yeah.
So for Ukrainian tourists, good place to go, Germany, or do you think it's too expensive for them?
I think it's pretty expensive, but it's Europe. It's very interesting to go there, to travel. But you cannot travel cheaply in Germany. Definitely, it's very expensive.
I love to try the sauerkraut. That's the only reason I go to Germany. Was the sauerkraut and the schnitzel. Can't beat German food. We have a restaurant called Denninger's in Canada. They have German food there. Schnitzels, burgers, everything like that. You know, like not a burger, but German style. That's the only reason I'd like to go there, but maybe for the food. But is it really worth for the price, though, for admission to get into there? And transportation's expensive, too, isn't it, I heard? How much does it cost to use a tram?
Yeah, the transportation is very expensive. The taxi is very expensive. But maybe the underground is not expensive, but all the rest, like public transport, is pretty expensive.
In Kiev, it's 1.5 hryvnia to use a city tram.
Really? I don't use city tram. I don't know.
1.5 hryvnia. That's cheap.
Okay.
So what's it in Germany? Can you give me an example, maybe in dollars?
In Germany, it depends. It depends on how many stations you have to, how many bus stops you go through, right? Is it
you have to buy that pass or something, or they're like.
Yeah. For example, you are going from one place to another place, like 2 bus stops, and you're paying for 2 bus stops, and you travel. No.
Yeah, well, in Poland, you had to go by the minutes. Like you're paying for the minutes or something like that. That's when I was in Krakow. But it was different than in Ukraine, because in Ukraine nobody checks your ticket. The woman asks you, "Kompot," or what? How do you say in Ukrainian? Not kompot, the drink, but yeah, sure. And she, she takes the paper and she stamps. Nobody checks in Ukraine, so thank God for that, you know.
We have free transport, free public transport.
I like that. Everything free. Why not, eh? What the heck? If Bob was
Communism.
free. Anyways, it's 9:57, so I gave a couple people ideas, to travel cheaply. Some of them were, again, going off season, like I did in Yalta, right? Obviously not going by a hotel, and most Ukrainians won't do that anyways. To go to a hostel and to try to really do your research on the internet. Don't use travel agents. A lot of Ukrainians don't use travel agents anyways, but they do because they exist, because obviously, they're making money some way. What else? Don't use fancy restaurants. Some people actually bring food with them. I don't recommend that because food can go bad. All right, and to try to, maybe hitchhike. We said that's maybe dangerous. It can be. Use public transportation. Try to look for good deals. I mean, I don't know. Ukrainians are good at this anyways. Am I right? Ukrainians know where the good deals are. So that's my opinion right there. And I think one thing you'll learn is to use an ATM machine that has an affiliation with your bank to avoid fees. Because, for example, in Ukraine, if I use a private bank with my private bank card, I don't get a fee. But if I use it with another bank, I'm going to get a fee. Small percentage, but in Europea or another country, that fee can be big. Like I said, if I use my card, my Canadian card in Ukraine on any bank, I'm being charged 40 hryvnia per withdrawal. 40 hryvnia. It's a lot of money for some people. So please take that in consideration. Are there any questions for me whatsoever?
No, I don't have questions.
Be careful of going with other people, to book, how you stay at someone's place instead of paying for a hostel. It's a good concept. There are websites like, I used Airbnb. Right, I use this as well, but be careful of the ones that where you get to stay at their place and then they get to stay at your place. I know a lot of Ukrainian women, they've tried this, and maybe for us guys it's a little bit different. I don't know, maybe it's just a little bit different there, but I don't feel safe. I'm thinking of Dexter or Law and Order, CSI Miami. It's floating in the back of my head. I watch too much TV. Again, so that wraps up the conversation. It is 10 o'clock. Please check the schedule to see more of my classes if you're interested in the topic. So everyone, if there's no other questions, have a good evening.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Yes, Daniel.
Всем пока.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.